Now, your primetime local news leader, Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, 4 state troopers were injured last night when they were struck by a car while investigating a domestic disturbance call.
Maine State Police released further details this afternoon in Augusta. Our Grace Blanchard has more.
Around 10 p.m. on Sunday night, 3 state troopers and a trooper recruit were responding to a family dispute in Hollis when suddenly a car traveling eastbound on Route 202 veered into the breakdown lane, striking all 4 troopers.
This is an unfortunate incident, which has a criminal investigation attached to it.
State troopers Jake Mowry, David Lemieux, Dakota Stewart, and trooper recruit Shane St. Pierre were standing at the end of a driveway on Hollis Road along Route 202 conducting interviews when the car suddenly entered the scene. Officials have identified 24-year-old Tyler Croston of Westbrook as the driver. He was traveling eastbound with a female passenger.
All 4 of those troopers were struck by that vehicle, operated by Mr. Croston.
All 4 were transported to Maine Medical Center in Portland for a variety of injuries.
Injuries were consistent of broken bones to a variety of extremities. All 4 of the troopers were incapacitated. They were conscious and alert, but in significant distress at the scene.
Officials say it is unclear how fast Croston was driving, but police say there are no indications that he attempted to apply the vehicle's brakes. Croston is facing several charges at this time, and officials suspect narcotics to have been a factor in the incident.
And we consulted with the York County District Attorney's Office several times throughout the night. He was charged with aggravated OUI due to the injuries to the troopers, reckless conduct with a dangerous weapon, being the vehicle, in violation of conditional release. He was on violation bail conditions from a previous arrest.
According to officials, none of the residents at the scene were injured. 2 troopers still remain at Maine Medical Center but are in stable condition. The incident is still an ongoing criminal investigation being conducted by the York County Sheriff's Office. In Augusta, I'm Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine State Ferry service crew members are reminding everyone about the importance of using crucial life-saving equipment after rescuing a kayaker in distress off Islesboro on Friday. The ferry was traveling from Lincolnville to Islesboro. As the ferry was nearing its destination, crew members noticed an overturned red kayak in the water. Christian Rudman was one of the crew members on board, and he says the captain made a decision to offload the ferry and investigate the kayak closer. That's when they were finally able to see the kayaker in distress in the water, and crew members jumped into action.
We were pretty much almost right up on the kayak when we actually did finally see her in the water. She wasn't wearing a life jacket, was dressed all in black, and with the sea state and the heavy rain, she was almost next to impossible to see in the water. Our boat engineer, he had the boat over the side of the ship and ready for us. We hopped in, launched, got up to her, was able to safely pull her into the boat.
Rudman says he's grateful they were there to notice the kayaker when they did. They remind everyone to wear a life jacket at all times when out on the water.
An important reminder there. In other news tonight, a woman has been banned from Airbnb due to her link with infamous neo-Nazi Christopher Pohlhaus, but she claims she didn't know about his political beliefs until it was too late. Devin Dagnall got an exclusive interview with that woman and brings us the story.
I am certainly not a white supremacist or a neo-Nazi or any of that. I pride myself on helping other people, of not judging others. And this place is a safe place.
That's Kathy Greer, the owner of the Loon's Nest Lodge at Silver Lake in Lee, and she's been banned from using Airbnb as of Sunday. Regarding her banning, an Airbnb spokesperson said, after an investigation, it was determined a neo-Nazi leader had stayed at her residence and done work on the property while guests were present, and for that, her listings have been removed from the platform. According to Greer, the neo-Nazi leader Christopher Pohlhaus approached her last year and offered to clear a section of her land if she would provide lodging for him while he waited to close a deal on a nearby property.
And we were getting a lot of people who are here purchasing property, staying here, waiting for the closing, looking at places, so that was not an unusual story.
Greer states during his stay, Polhaus kept to himself and rarely interacted with her or her guests, never allowing anyone to know him beyond surface level. Greer says when she started to see news articles about Polhaus in a local publication, she was worried that the young man who had cleared her property was being misrepresented. Greer says she was still unaware of his extremist ideology when she sent the letter to the editor of the Lincoln newspaper, stating people should make sure they have the full story about Polhaus. Greer says she didn't learn the full scope of Polhaus's racist views until she was recently approached by the FBI.
So the FBI said, well, he said, in his travels, they found some neo-Nazi papers. And I'm like, oh.
However, Greer knew enough about Polhaus's personal life to cite the incident where he was banned from the Bangor Planet Fitness because of his visible swastika tattoo, stating in her letter, quote, "In my world, I would have spoken with Chris and asked him to either change his shirt or leave, and when he returned, we should not be able to see that." She also goes on in the letter to justify Polhaus's use of the swastika, citing uses in other cultures. She claims she now regrets that letter, and if she had known the full extent of what Polhaus stood for, he wouldn't have been welcomed in the first place.
I guess if you're upfront enough to say that to me, then I have to be upfront enough to say, I'm sorry. I can't put you up here.
At this time, Greer plans to continue her business without the help of Airbnb. In Lee, Devin Dagnall, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
To our south, Portland police say they found explosives, including grenades, at a home on Saturday afternoon. Police responded to a home on Verrill Street where a woman said she discovered the explosives while cleaning out the home of her late father. Police say the bombs included a Claymore mine and 2 grenades, and that some of them were, quote, unstable. Police used a robot to safely remove the explosives. No one was hurt and no one is charged, and police say the daughter did the right thing by contacting them.
In other news, the Maine CDC's new permanent director began her new role today. Dr. Puteri Va was appointed to the position in late July. The agency says Dr. Va was selected due to her, quote, extensive range of experience in primary clinical care, epidemiology, and public health emergency response, having most recently led the successful COVID-19 response in the Navajo Nation. Dr. Va previously served as the director of the Division of Public Health in Chinle, Arizona. She returns to Maine, having received her medical degree from the University of New England. Dr. Va replaces Dr. Nirav Shah, who led the state through the coronavirus pandemic. He was appointed principal deputy director at the U.S. CDC and assumed that role in March.
Well, with classrooms reopening this week, some districts say several of their students still don't have state-required vaccines, and they just aren't talking about COVID. Owen Kingsley is in Lewiston with more.
Lewiston school officials say parental confusion during the pandemic led the district to relax enforcement for state-mandated vaccines for non-COVID illnesses.
During COVID, we didn't follow them as closely as we probably should have. And as we came out of that last year, nurses had gathered a list of students who were currently attending school that were not yet fully vaccinated in accordance with law.
It's state law for students to be vaccinated against things like polio, measles, mumps, chickenpox, and tetanus. Not having those shots can pose a serious health risk in schools.
The schools are essentially a petri dish, right? You have hundreds and hundreds of people coming into one building space. The vaccines that are required from a public health perspective are really to prevent any kind of new outbreaks from things that, as a society, we have under control.
In March, the district began informing parents to get students those shots before the start of this school year. As of Friday, around 200 students are not fully vaccinated.
I think we're still in the hundreds of students that, when they come to school, 2 days from now, they're going to be reminded that you don't have your vaccinations.
With classes starting on Wednesday, Superintendent Langlis says they won't turn kids away from the classroom on the first day, but they are sending a serious message to parents.
We are required to follow the law, and parents have to make sure that their students are compliant, or by rule, we cannot enroll them.
All right, and looking outdoors today, earlier we were talking about it, just a great day out there today, and it's been somewhat of a stretch, but we have had rain and some heavy rain at times sprinkled in there too.
Yeah, and that's kind of a point of concern when you consider the heavy downpours we've seen over the last couple of months and the damage to infrastructure that those storms have done. So, you know, at this point, I think sometimes heavy rain puts folks a bit on edge.
Yeah.
But luckily, we're staring at a nice stretch coming our way.
Yes.
Let's get a first check of our forecast and see what is in our immediate future.
Thank you so much, Beth. Our first weather today is brought to you by the North Ellsworth Flea Market that is now open in Ellsworth. Wow, what a good looking day. Temperatures around 80 degrees. The coast had some mid 70s, but hey, still beautiful 70s, really nice and enjoyable weather for this time of year. Did see lots of sunshine as well. A little couple of clouds here and there, a mixture of clouds and sun. Overall, though, a really great looking day today, but more rain will be back. Look at all of this right off the coast of New Jersey into Washington, D.C. Couple of showers and even some thunderstorms lingering down there. We are going to get in on some rain in just 24 hours, so get ready for that, folks. We did have some breezy winds earlier today. Now, not too bad. A 13-mile-an-hour sustained wind in town. We're looking at around 10 in Bar Harbor, Machias. A light breeze at around 3 miles per hour, so nothing to worry about wind speed-wise tonight. It's actually going to be a pretty calm night as temperatures continue hovering in those mid to upper 50s. Beth?
All right, that's a pretty decent overnight coming our way.
Yeah, staying very comfortable for us.
Yeah, we like it. Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, the 136th Piscataquis Valley Fair came to an end over the weekend. We'll have the highlights.
And 2 local nonprofits received federal grants. Our Doug Banks will break down the numbers for us when we come right back.
Get away with a great deal at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Lease a Tucson for $239 a month or get 3.29% APR or $2,500 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Now is the time to consider taking care of your driveway or parking lot. With more than 25 years experience, Harvey Paving and Seal Coating specializes in asphalt maintenance. A fantastic way to extend the life of your asphalt is by taking care of it, and we will fill in all the cracks and seal coat afterwards. This leaves your driveway with a beautiful finish looking like new. Why not increase the curb appeal of your residential or commercial space? Give us a call today at Harvey Paving and Seal Coating for a free quote. 262-0154.
This or that, this or that. You can do this when you edgy that. You can do this when you edgy that. You can do this because edgy's where it's at.
Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Get started today at Angie.com.
Wherever you go, wherever you stay, all you need is one key. Earn and use rewards across Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo.
Beat Shazam is back with a bang.
Ready to mix it up?
Special guest host Nick Cannon and DJ Kelly Osbourne put $1 million up for grabs.
I love giving away someone else's money.
Beat Shazam, Tuesdays on Fox and stream on Hulu.
Why are you here?
I want to get punished.
Fight!
Special Forces World's Toughest Test, September 25th on Fox.
Get away with a great deal at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Lease an all-wheel drive Santa Fe for $259 a month or get 3.29% APR or $2,500 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Half-off deals. Save money at foxbangor.com right now. Get the best deals from restaurants, family fun activities, events, and your favorite stores all in one place. Go to foxbangor.com and click on half-off deals and see all the money you could be saving. Half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back. The Piscataquis Valley Fair in Dover Foxcroft came to an end over the weekend. This was the 136th year of the event. Fairgoers got the chance to enjoy rides, games, and see some fantastic farm animals. But what makes this country fair different from others in the state is it's the only one with a fire museum right on site.
so all the kids can come in and see what firefighting used to be like the old Rio behind me here, that 1900 vintage, that, oh, what's that do? How's it get to a fire? Well, human beings, men pulled it.
Another unique aspect of the Piscataquis Valley Fair is its daily pedal tractor pull competition for youngsters. Kids try to get as close to a full pull as they can, and if they're successful, they earn a ribbon.
When those kids get on that tractor and they go and you give them a ribbon and they get a great big grin on their face and their eyes light up, that's what the fair is about. That's what we try to do.
Well, pedal tractor pull participants who won ribbons on the other days of the fair were welcomed back on Sunday to participate in the competition for trophies. Hardware was handed out to those who placed first, second, or third.
And a big congrats to all those winners there. Well, the Maine DOT announced it's received federal grants that will benefit two nonprofits. Penquis and the Kennebec Valley Community Action Program will use the $650,000 to expand transportation service software to more rural communities. Our Doug Banks visited Penquis to learn more.
We're ecstatic here in Penquis and all the communities that we serve.
Covering 13,000 square miles, Penquis serves Penobscot, Piscataquis, Somerset, and Kennebec counties. The organization is one of 12 nationwide to apply for and receive federal grant money. The funds will allow the organization to expand the capabilities of its transportation software. One purpose behind the enhanced software is to bring efficiency, using up-to-date real-time data, expanding payment options, and dispatching capabilities.
With this software technology, we're able to utilize the providers that we have and find more capacity with those providers. And with that service, we'll be able to reach more people to get to their appointments that they need.
Penquis was hit hard during the pandemic, losing a significant number of drivers, and their numbers haven't fully recovered since. The ongoing issue led Penquis to apply for new federal funding through Maine DOT. Leaders say enhancements will help providers reach more Mainers.
There's families that live in tents that don't even have electricity or plumbing, and they're not able to even get transportation because they don't have friends or family to take them to these services. And that's what we want to do, is help these people in these communities.
More and more people have less opportunities to seek their own transportation, but still need those life services.
For more information about Penquis Transportation Services, visit our website. In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Girl Scouts from around the state will enjoy free admission to Maine's state parks for 2 days next month. The weekend of nature festivities is part of a nationwide Girl Scout celebration honoring the beauty and importance of protected state parks across the country. Along with that free entry, specialized interactive workshops will be taking place at some of the state parks, such as the Hike Back in Time at Holbrook Island Sanctuary in Brooksville and Wonders of Wildlife at Mount Blue State Park in Weld. Any family members who accompany the Girl Scouts in the same vehicle on September 9th or 10th will also get in free. Nice little perk there.
Yeah, definitely something great for parents to keep in mind, but a great opportunity for them to get their Girl Scouts out and about.
Go out as a family.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is a great opportunity there, and great to see them putting that on.
And it's nice to see that organization being on the receiving end of that. The Girl Scouts is a great group.
Yeah.
They've done a lot for young girls through the years, and so it's nice to see them get a little something.
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
All right, well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, the judge in former President Trump's Washington trial scheduled the proceedings to begin March 4th of next year, a date with very large political significance.
And the Jacksonville community is looking for answers after a white man opens fire in a Dollar General, killing 3 black people. Those stories and more coming up.
Introducing the all-new 2024 Chevy Trax. The possibilities are endless. It helps you stay connected and safe.
Current qualified lessees can get this Trax for $249 a month. Visit your Maine Chevy dealer.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. so you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
I've got home internet from T-Mobile. It only costs $50 at T-Mobile. Just one cord to set up. Say goodbye to that truck. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. They won't raise your rates at T-Mobile. You'll get a great deal every day.
Home internet from T-Mobile, just $50 a month.
Harvey High is now in session. Today's subjects: biology.
Name an animal with the long neck.
Dinosaur, long neck, yeah.
Let me ask you something. When the last time you seen one?
Anatomy.
Name a part of Steve Harvey that a woman might want to kiss.
Your six-pack.
The six-pack? Does she know who Steve Harvey is? You got to dig for it, but it's in there.
Get schooled with Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
At least one person has been killed after a gunman opened fire at UNC Chapel Hill on Monday. Police say the suspect is currently in custody after he reportedly opened fire in the Cottle Labs, sending the campus into lockdown for about 3 hours. Students and employees were forced to take shelter in dorms, classrooms, and study areas while police secured the scene. One person is reported dead and no other injuries were reported. The person shown in this arrest video is not confirmed as the suspected gunman.
Meanwhile, police call the deadly shooting at a Florida Dollar General over the weekend a racially motivated act of violence. Fox's Anna Eliopoulos has more on the reaction from that community.
They were just black going shopping. All of us could be the next victim.
The Jacksonville community rocked by tragedy after a white gunman opened fire at a Dollar General store Saturday, targeting the black community. Police identifying the suspect as 21-year-old Ryan Palmeter, who they say left behind a manifesto filled with writings detailing his hatred for black people. The community now mourning for the loss of his 3 victims: 52-year-old Angela Carr, 19-year-old Anolt Joseph Laguerre, and 29-year-old Gerald Deshaun Gallion.
We are all the same flesh, blood, and bones, and we should treat each other that way.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis attending one of the many vigils for the victims Sunday, where he was loudly booed by the crowd. On Monday, the governor announced new funding to improve security at Edward Waters University, the historically black college near the site of the deadly rampage.
We are not going to allow our HBCUs to be targeted by these people.
Members of the black community in Jacksonville have been left shaken, but many say they won't let the decisions of the suspect dictate their lives.
We're still going to do what we're going to do, and we're not going to be afraid.
According to police, the suspect was armed with a handgun and an AR-15, both purchased legally. He had no prior criminal record. Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
In other news, the military's marine transport aircraft, the V-22 Osprey, is under scrutiny once again. Over the weekend, 3 Marines died when an Osprey crashed during a training exercise. Several others were also hurt, including 5 Marines who suffered critical injuries. Fox's Greg Palcott with that story.
I would just like to reassure the families who are on the other side of the world that we're caring for your loved ones.
8 U.S. Marines remain hospitalized in the Australian city of Darwin, with 12 being discharged from the Royal Darwin Hospital on Monday. All were part of a group of 23 Marines hurt over the weekend when a Marine V-22 Osprey aircraft crashed on nearby Melville Island, killing 3 Marines on board.
Incredibly lucky, incredibly thankful for a chopper that crashes and then catches fire, to have 20 Marines that are surviving.
The Marines were taking part in a routine 12-day multinational training exercise set to end September 7th. The Osprey they were riding on is the transport aircraft for Marines. It takes off and lands like a helicopter, but during flight it can tilt its propellers and move like an airplane.
Operating the instruments of war in peacetime operations can be as dangerous as operating them in combat operations.
While the cause of the crash is still unclear, multiple investigations are now underway. A process Australian officials warn won't be easy due to the crash site's remote location. Their focus is also still on the recovery of the fallen Marines.
And the priority is the recovery of the 3 Marines with dignity.
Since 2012, there have been 5 fatal crashes involving Marine Ospreys, leading to 16 deaths. This weekend's crash brings the total to 19 Marines lost. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
And our thoughts are certainly with the families of those Marines. Meanwhile, a trial for one of former President Trump's criminal cases is set to start in about 6 months. He's calling the judge who made the decision, quote, biased and Trump-hating, and says he will appeal. Fox's Rich Edson has the latest from Washington.
A unique situation for a presidential candidate, a criminal trial scheduled to begin right in the middle of election season. Judge Tanya Chutkan set a March 4th trial date for former President Donald Trump's federal election interference case. That's one day before Super Tuesday, when candidates are typically on the trail, not on trial. The judge ignored pleas from both sides. The prosecution wanted an earlier January start date. Trump's lawyers wanted to delay the trial 2 years, until after the next election.
A defendant in a criminal case is supposed to be tried within 70 days. On these complex white-collar cases, it is not uncommon for it to take years.
A trial date is still up in the air for a separate Georgia case, one also involving alleged election interference. District Attorney Fani Willis, who brought racketeering charges against Trump and 18 others, says she wants a speedy trial.
This investigation started back in 2 years ago, and she's waited until President Trump is back in the political race.
The defendants will be arraigned September 6th. Several of them are petitioning to move the case to federal court.
There is a compelling argument for Trump and Meadows and perhaps others.
Former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows testified in Atlanta Monday, arguing for the move. He maintains he was acting as a federal official. If Meadows is successful, that could move the trial for the other defendants, potentially giving them a somewhat more favorable jury pool. Former President Donald Trump's expected to be at a South Dakota rally just days after his arraignment. In Washington, Rich Edson, Fox News.
Today marks 60 years since an estimated 250,000 people gathered at the Lincoln Memorial for the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Now the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. is being commemorated. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
If I could speak to my grandfather today, I would say, I am sorry we still have to be here to rededicate ourselves to finishing your work and ultimately realizing your hidden dream.
60 years after Martin Luther King Jr. marched on Washington, his granddaughter stood on those very steps at the Lincoln Memorial to speak about his dream and how the thousands who gathered along the mall on Saturday are working to fulfill it.
Dreamers will win. The dreamers will march. The dreamers will stand up.
On Monday, President Biden met with the King family, then commemorated the anniversary of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under law. He underlined the work that still has to be done as he spoke about the shooting death of 3 African Americans in Jacksonville, Florida on Saturday that is now being investigated as a hate crime.
The U.S. intelligence community is determined that domestic terrorism rooted in white supremacy is the greatest terrorist threat we face in the homeland, the greatest threat. We have to act.
Civil rights leaders who met with the president say the attack in Jacksonville is about more than one crime.
That straight line
is the evil of white nationalism and the toxic damage that hate can do. So for me, this attack in Jacksonville, that wasn't just an attack on Black Americans.
The King family is calling for the passage of new voting rights legislation, but with such an evenly divided Congress, it is unlikely to make it through either chamber. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, Storm Idalia is shaping up to be a major weather event. We'll hear from those in the storm's path.
And Brewer football is back home after the Battle of the Witches down in Salem. We'll hear about their experiences. Be right back.
College football is back. So is the noise. Feel what you've been missing. College football on Fox.
People always ask me, what's the best mattress? Well, the best mattress for me isn't necessarily the best mattress for you. Bridget and our Sleep Techs will fit you to the perfect mattress. So if you're going to spend a third of your life sleeping on it, shouldn't it be the one for you?
I live on Swans Island off the coast of Maine. For years, I was the general manager of the consumer-owned utility that provided power to the island. So I know about how energy works in Maine. The truth is, the consumer-owned utility was a failed experiment for our community. When we switched to a private company, our electric rates dropped and our service improved. And it's not easy to provide power to a remote island like ours. That's why I'm so concerned about question 3. I've reviewed the bill and it's a bad idea. It will be a massive $13.5 billion gamble that puts politicians in control of our power and our electric bills. It will lead to higher energy bills, and they're not even required to have an operations plan when they take over. Mainers can't afford this costly proposal. Please join me and vote no on question 3. It's a very bad idea for Maine.
When outdoors, some people like it hot and some people like it cold. However, when indoors, most people like it comfortably warm. Choose a Baderas boiler from McCusick Petroleum Company to provide you with comfortable and efficient heat. They also offer sales and service on many brands of furnaces, boilers, and water heaters. McCusick Petroleum Company delivers oil and LP gas to homes and businesses throughout the Pequot region. If you'd like more information on pricing or service, call or stop by our office in Dover Foxcroft.
It wasn't just a little bit of soot on an old family photo. It wasn't just a couple of books soaked in water. And when you called Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, you were not just another customer. That family photo hangs high yet again, and those irreplaceable first editions stay cemented in history. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
You know what's really interesting? Our customers are just so surprised Bridget didn't recommend just the most expensive mattress. That's because she recommends a series of mattresses that'll fit you at different prices. Come in and meet Bridget.
Mental health spending has surged in the U.S. since the pandemic. Researchers found American spending on mental health with private insurance jumped 54% between March 2020 and August of 2022. The team reports anxiety and depression disorders saw the steepest increase at 45%, followed by post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia. The study found the average spending rate was more than $3.5 million per 10,000 patients monthly, compared to about $2.3 million pre-pandemic. The report also found telehealth visits increased over 1,000% during the outbreak, but has since leveled off. The study appears in the JAMA Health Forum.
An alarming worry developing for some parents as a common ADHD medication remains scarce. A report says some drug experts think Adderall, a medication used to help children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, will stay in short supply. Adderall has been low in stock for 10 months now, and drug makers can't answer when full supplies will return. Millions, including adults, use the medication to help cope with impulses and concentration, and it helps kids manage school demands. Experts fear the Adderall need will quickly ramp up as schools reopen. Adderall and its alternatives are controlled substances, adding to worries about abuse and dependency.
Well, switching gears now, a major airline upgrades its ability to help passengers with onboard medical emergencies. Delta Airlines says it's going to add new technologies and processes to aid passengers in medical distress. One technology, MedLink, will give crews direct access to doctors on the ground through a mobile app. New wearable technology will transmit data via Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and other equipment includes pulse oximeters, which measure blood oxygen saturation, automatic blood pressure cuffs, and medical-grade stethoscopes. Delta's goal is to have all upgrades completed on its entire fleet by the end of the year. And the Department of Transportation fined American Airlines $4.1 million for keeping passengers waiting on the tarmac. The DOT says its largest fine ever for tarmac delay violations. The DOT's rule prohibits airlines from keeping passengers waiting on planes on the tarmac for 3 hours or longer without allowing them to deplane. According to a DOT investigation between 2018 and 2021, American Airlines violated that rule 43 times. American says the delays were due to, quote, exceptional weather events and represented a small number of the more than 7 million flights during that time period.
Hawaii's electric utility acknowledged Sunday night its power lines started a wildfire on Maui, but faulted county firefighters, saying they declared the blaze contained and left the scene, only to have a second wildfire break out nearby and become the deadliest in the U.S. in more than a century. Hawaiian Electric Company released a statement in response to Maui County's lawsuit, blaming the utility for failing to shut off power preemptively. Hawaiian Electric called that complaint, quote, factually and legally irresponsible, and said its power lines in West Maui had been de-energized for more than 6 hours when the second blaze started. A Maui County attorney says it's the utility's fault because their power lines caused the initial fire. Meanwhile, Idalia is gaining strength as it churns towards Florida. People on the state's west coast are making preparations before the storm makes landfall. Fox's Madison Scarpino has the latest.
We're trying to escape, New York and try to come and relax, and now we're having to face this.
Vacationers on Florida's Gulf Coast scrambled for alternative plans as Idalia threatened to become a Category 3 hurricane. President Biden approving an emergency declaration ahead of the storm's expected landfall on Wednesday.
At the president's direction, FEMA has deployed 2 incident management teams to Tallahassee and has one in Atlanta ready to pivot as needed.
Dozens of counties in the Sunshine State are under a state of emergency as people race to gather supplies and secure their homes.
I'm trying to get as stocked up as possible, at least to just keep stuff in the pantry.
As it gains strength in the Gulf of Mexico, forecasters expect Idalia to threaten Florida with dangerous storm surge and hurricane-force winds. Officials warned those in its path could lose electricity for an extended period. On Monday, the state positioned utility workers to respond to potential outages.
We believe that time is of the essence when it comes to power restoration, and we have the folks available.
The storm, hitting nearly a year after Hurricane Ian devastated Florida's southwest coast. Some business owners, though, say they are better prepared this time around.
One thing that we learned is not getting ready to wait for people to tell us what we should be doing. We already know what we should be doing, so we're jumping the gun.
Forecasters expect Idalia to move into Georgia and the Carolinas later this week. In Madeira Beach, Florida, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
And certainly we're keeping an eye on that storm, if for no other reason than there are many, many Mainers with ties in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. So many people vacation there, have family there, and just great to see that people are taking those preemptive, proactive steps to try to protect themselves and their homes.
Scary when you think about the fact that, the state was so badly hit by Hurricane Ian. Last year, the devastation and destruction that storm caused, and, they're staring down another serious storm. Yeah. It's very daunting.
Absolutely. Well, back here at home, things looking much calmer. We'll have all the details on our 5-day forecast coming right up.
We had beautiful weather out there today, a mixture of clouds and sun. Overall, though, a really dry-looking day, but I'm tracking some more rain back in the forecast. When am I going to need an umbrella? I'll have the answers coming up.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center will turn your ideas into accurate conceptual drawings, and 3D visualization is available. Your Hammond sales rep will prepare a materials list and cost estimate. And when you buy all of your materials from them, Hammond will refund all of your design fees. Hammond can deliver your order from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
Wherever you go, wherever you stay, all you need is one key. Earn and use rewards across Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo.
Summer is ending, but the savings are endless at Bob's Discount Furniture. And this Labor Day weekend, I'm throwing a summer send-off celebration with 6, 12, 30, and 60-month financing options and new everyday low prices on highly rated living rooms, best-selling bedrooms, stylish dining sets, and of course, my world-famous Bobapedic mattresses. Plus entertainment and yummy treats for the kiddos. It's gonna be great! Great indeed, Balloon Bob. So join the fun at my summer send-off celebration this Labor Day weekend in all my stores.
ABC7, Fox 22, Disconnected Tattoo, and Fog Products want to send you to see Pantera live in concert with special guest Lamb of God, Thursday, September 7th at the Main Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Disconnected Tattoo and Art Company in Ellsworth, a family-friendly shop with well-rounded artists, and Fog Products, your premier Bangor dispensary with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Win tickets to see Pantera September 7th on the Bangor waterfront.
Welcome back, my friends. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and a great start to the week. Our main weather today is brought to you by Key Appliance, committed to bringing you top name brand appliance at affordable prices. Wow, a really great looking day out there today. Just a couple of mixtures of clouds and sun. Overall, though, mostly sun out there today. But we're not going to be in luck for long. More chances of showers will be arriving. So tomorrow, a couple of sprinkles here and there. Tomorrow night into Wednesday, that's when the heavier batches of rain really start to move in. Look at those yellow and orange, even some red colors. I know we need a little bit of rain, but still, it's been an ongoing type of trend this whole summer, I feel like. We're looking at possibly around an inch of rain here in town, a little bit less by Bar Harbor into the Machias area, but look up north, Millinocket, Greenville, wow, 1 to 2 inches. Maybe even more than 2 inches of rain in some spots. So wherever those heavier bands of rain really situate, that's where more of that rain will be accumulating on the ground. And dew points, get ready for that, folks. It is going to feel sticky. Kind of like when you get off the airplane in Mexico, the air just hits you, that sticky, warm, tropical air. It's kind of going to feel like that Wednesday into Thursday. So get ready. Then by Thursday evening into Friday into Saturday as well, things will be much more comfortable as that rain starts to move out of the region. Temperature-wise, though, wow, folks, look at this. Our average highs around 77, 78 degrees this time of year. The next few days, we're going to be a little chilly, so mid-70s, a couple of lower 70s Wednesday into Thursday, and then look what happens. We are back into those upper 70s to lower 80s right through the weekend and even into beginning of next week. So warmer weather will be back. Look at these water temperatures, though. Right off the coast, a comfortable 64, 67 degrees. That's pretty comfortable for this time of year. But look down south. Over 80-degree water temperatures. Hurricanes love this type of weather. Anything over 80 degrees for ocean water, hurricanes really get fuel out of it, and that's exactly what is happening right now. This tropical system right here, that's going to continue to go like this all the way up into Florida, the northwestern parts of Florida. So get ready. Anywhere in Florida, please be on alert. This is a serious hurricane. As it hits, it probably will be a major Category 3 hurricane or even higher, especially with those above average water temperatures. That cannot be out of the question. Lots of rainfall, really high storm surge, gusty winds. So if you have family out in Florida, this is the time to call them up and make sure they are prepared or evacuated. Look at this. And then curving into South Carolina, maybe North Carolina as well, and then right into Bermuda. And this other hurricane is pretty much just staying offshore. Still a very strong hurricane. Look at this, Category 2, as it's all the way up closer to our region. It is not going to be hitting us at all, though. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, some dense fog in the area. Temperatures slightly above average in those upper 50s. Our extended forecast outlook does show rain in the area Wednesday. Then we're in the clear Thursday, Friday into Saturday. Beth?
Like that there's plenty of sunshine coming our way and not quite as toasty as we've been.
Yeah.
I'm not upset about that.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. I don't know if, rain may be helping to ease those temperatures or whatnot, but that does look like a very nice 5-day, at least when it comes to the temperatures.
I hate to say it out loud, too, but we are nearing the end of summer, so.
Indeed, we are.
Wow. I said it.
We really are.
Sorry.
But I love fall, too. We still do. All right, sports is coming up next. Speaking of fall, stay with us.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Some things are worth waiting for. Something reliable, something loyal, something long-lasting. A 6-year warranty? Coyote's got that. One machine for all the dirty work? Count on Coyote. Coyote won't break your heart. And Whittemore & Sons got the deals that won't break the bank. So quit swiping and settling for less. Slide into Whittemore & Sons and be treated like family. By a family who cares. 257 Waterville Road, Skowhegan.
Okay guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now you can get 50% off a year of service and a free phone.
Sorry, just double checking. Is it really that good of a deal?
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
Really huge deal. Wow, I just triple checked and that's awesome.
Awesome.
Echo.
Get 50% off a year of service and a free phone. US Cellular, built for us.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Crap.
Introducing Dan Harmon's Crapopolis.
It's not as bad as the name sounds, or that looked.
Special premiere September 24th after football on Fox.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start on the gridiron. Over the weekend, Brewer football made history, taking part in the first ever Witches versus Witches game against Salem, an event these players will never forget.
It was incredible. It's a one-in-a-lifetime experience.
Brewer football made history Saturday, playing a scrimmage at Salem High School in Massachusetts, the first game between two teams named the Witches ever.
It was a really cool experience, just knowing that you're playing in the first ever Witches on Witches game.
Great experience for the kids. Very pleased with how we competed against a very good football team.
The event, which was mostly a controlled scrimmage, also marked the first time any team at Brewer High School had traveled out of state.
It felt nice going with your team, knowing that the boys are with you, family out of the families there with you, playing a game that you guys all love.
But their actual families and even beyond showed up and showed out. A bunch of Brewer fans made the 3+ hour trek in support of their boys.
When we walked back into the locker room after the game, like we had like a huge crowd waiting for us there. Like we know whenever we go into a game, we got the community behind us.
Another neat aspect of the game is that it was dedicated to Coach Ken Perrone, who, as crazy as it is, coached both the Brewer and Salem Witches in his storied career.
I played here at Brewer High School, and we heard stories about Coach Perrone. We have 2 coaches actually on our staff that played for Coach Perrone. You could tell he was very excited about it and very proud.
But it wasn't all pomp and circumstance. These kids came to play and prove themselves against a team like Salem. To say they were humbled is an understatement.
Their style of football was very aggressive. Ours is too, but they showed us a lot.
Even though Salem took home the Cauldron Cup, Brewer sees the scrimmage as a chance to really focus on where they need to improve. But it also could be a huge advantage.
AAU basketball, when you travel out of state and play very good competition in unfriendly environments, so to speak, and then when you go to these other places, maybe it's not quite as intimidating.
So what does the future hold? Well, the plan is for there to be a scrimmage next year where Salem comes up here to play. And who knows, maybe year after year after year.
I think it's good for all the grades coming up. All these kids that are in the youth football, they get to come up and eventually get to experience that Massachusetts football and get to learn a little bit.
So cool. Okay, now let's hit the links. It was a beautiful day to be out there Monday, and even better when you can help support the kids of the Children's Miracle Network. The Bangor Municipal Golf Course hosted the first annual Summer Classic for Maine kids. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center organized the event to raise money for equipment, programs, and services, and all the comforts that kids need while they stay in the hospital.
So we really wanted an opportunity to raise funds and raise awareness for our children's services. We have kids that come from as far west as Jackman, as far north as Fort Kent, and as far east as Lubec.
Since 1987, Eastern Maine Medical Center has raised more than $10 million to support the children's charity. Every dollar raised will help get kids back to the business of being kids. Okay, now let's hit the racetrack. One of the biggest short track stock car races in the country was Sunday, the 50th annual Oxford 250 down at Oxford Plains, and it did not disappoint. Takes a while to get it started. Long rain delay before the green flag, plus 11 cautions throughout the race. First one comes early, 6 laps in. Pole sitter Jimmy Renfrew Jr. getting spun out by Cole Butcher. Renfrew finishes 14th. Speaking of Butcher, the big move of the race coming with 26 to go. The Nova Scotia native who won this race last year makes a great pass on Joey Doran for the lead. He would hold that lead and takes home the 50th Oxford 250. Butcher goes back to back.
Feels great, especially this to be the 50th running of the Oxford 250. Just feels awesome. I can't thank my team enough. They're the reason why we won this. They did an excellent pit stop. I was just a dummy behind the wheel already. So can't thank them enough. Can't thank the Mayberries enough for putting on such a great event and getting this thing in today. And yeah, 2 in a row.
And finally, the Boston Red Sox. Sox starting yet another series with the Astros Monday night. Astros hold that coveted third wild card spot, so good chance to gain some ground. Bottom first, Sox get things started right. Tristan Casas rips this one into right. Justin Turner and Masa Yoshida score 2-0 Sox. Bottom 5, Sox trail 3-2 now until Adam Duvall hits this one way out of the strike zone, way out of here. Over the monster, onto Lansdowne, it's 4-3. Okay, top 6. Kyle Barraclaw in for Chris Sale. All you got to do is hold the lead. Okay, well, who am I kidding? It's the Sox in August. Jose Altuve hits one high off the monster. Bounces all around. He'll churn for a triple as 2-run score. 5-4 Astros. But hey, it's only a 1-run lead. They've already overcome one already. No. Yordan Alvarez turns things upside down. A 3-run homer to make it 8-4 Houston. 10 unanswered runs, all given up by Barraclaw in 4 1/3. Astros win it 13-5, and I sympathize with that kid right there. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Lease an all-wheel drive Ioniq 6 for $383 a month, including a $7,500 EV lease bonus, or get up to $5,000 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
You are the hero of your own story, with the strength to get through even the hardest times. And every hero has their own set of challenges. If your journey is getting tougher, you can find tips, resources, and support that'll help you find your way to better wellness. With Strengthen Me, it's free, anonymous, and confidential. To continue your hero's journey, visit strengthenme.com or dial 211.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I'm one of the heat pump consultants at Dave's World. We are Maine's leader in heat pump installations because we have an awesome team that is dedicated to an awesome experience, and we are backed by Mitsubishi products. It's easy to promise awesome, but it is another thing to deliver on awesome. There are so many solutions for every home. The goal is to solve problems and find what's right for the customer. You have heating and cooling problems, we will solve them from start to finish. Dave's World, awesome.
Get huge summer savings at Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia. Shop our incredible selection of quality pre-owned trucks, sedans, and SUVs, all with payments and prices that fit your budget. Choose from your favorite brands like Kia, Ford, Jeep, Toyota, Hyundai, Honda, Subaru, Volkswagen, and more. Serviced, state inspected, and starting at just $99.99, and payments as low as $199 a month, only at Van Sickle Kia.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
Welcome to Hell's Kitchen.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
You need to commit your part in this journey.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Welcome back. An Orrington resident is planning the trip of a lifetime. Lindsay Wyrick is leading a painting retreat in the south of France in 2024. Our Jody Hersey sat down with her and shares the details.
Lindsay Wyrick of Orrington has been painting with watercolors since she was 5. Now this mother of 3 is planning a Paint Your Vacation retreat in the south of France. There, she and 16 other participants who watch her Frugal Crafter YouTube channel will be surrounded by inspiration.
We'll be spending a week in France, in the south of France, at this resort that's got beautiful gardens and landscapes, and it's out in the countryside. So we'll be painting there most days. There's a big barn that's been converted into an art studio.
Wyrick says that retreat participants will also get the opportunity to visit a botanical garden, take part in a wine tasting, and eat delicious French cuisine.
It's just going to be a vacation of a lifetime, I think, and just relax and paint and let your worries melt away, and yeah, get in that mind space of just creating beautiful things.
Wyrick says this trip planned for May of 2024 filled up in just 3.5 days.
And these retreats tend to be mostly women that come, and I think it's like a chance for them to be like, okay, my kids are set, my spouse is set, I can just go and do this for me.
However, those who can't find the time to travel can still paint their cares away from the comforts of their home.
So I have about 4,000 active students in my online classes, and then I have a YouTube channel with over 500,000 subscribers. So you can try the classes for free. Just watch my YouTube channel and you can paint along for free any day of the week.
In Orrington, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Trip to the south of France sure does sound nice.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a painter, though.
Yeah, right. Well, you could become one, and there you go.
I just might be one afterwards.
What better way to clear your mind and of any distractions as well? So
yeah.
That's great that they'll be in that perfect thinking state for their artwork as
Definitely sounds like the trip of a lifetime, both just for fun and for creativity.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us. From everyone here at Fox 22, take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.